Okay, so going into the Monaco Grand Prix, obviously the 6th race out of the 21 that we have this season, like last season. I do like this track, but it can be very difficult. If you make one little mistake, then that's it, you're into the wall. So gotta be very careful around this track, especially in the wet weather, because that can cause a lot of crashes. So I've got a sponsor bonus of 300 resource points there, which is very good.
Okay, I've got something for you. The new parts have been fitted to the car. The simulation numbers are good, so look forward to your feedback. Check out the details.
Okay, so we've decreased the drag. So I think that's full drag now, so we can't get any less drag on our car. Manor have upgraded their car, and now our third bottom, so where we were at the start of season 1, and Force India are below that now, so that could be a team we could want to bring up back to where they were, and then even higher than that.
Welcome to Monaco for this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. It's a race that is truly steeped in history, but before the drivers turn their attention to winning, they first need to get through today's tricky practice session. Lowes Hairpin is the slowest corner of any track on the Formula One calendar. It's taken at just 48 kilometers an hour, but provides a stunning view on the first lap as the entire grid bunches up and tiptoes through the corner, hoping not to leave any carbon fibre parts behind.
This is such a tight bend that a special steering rack is used just to get around this very corner, as the cars would not normally be able to make the turn. There is the possibility of overtaking through Lowes, but more often than not, you'll end up damaging your car.
Okay, just starting session, doing all the practice sessions as usual. I'll skip it as usual as well. Okay, so the end of the practice session here. So we're gonna end P1 here. Yeah, P1 practice 1, yeah, here, and then go into the next practice sessions. Hopefully, be able to do better with obviously the qualifying pace and the tyre management programs that we weren't able to do in that session. So we're obviously second. Red Bull made some more upgrades, obviously, since okay, so got some resource points here. We did qualifying pace, we got perfect on that, so that's good.
Hi, just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
So for qualifying, they want me to come qualify second, beat Hamilton, beat Palmer. So, you know, that is a realistic thing that we've got to do if we want to win this championship, really. Okay, so I'm just looking at how many points. Hopefully by the end of the session we may be able to, or the end of the race, we may be able to buy an upgrade. And as you see, we could actually afford the fuel efficiency, so I'm just like seeing it, thinking about if that would be worth me doing that instead of maybe the engine, but I think I'm going to leave it upgrade the engine, 'cause I think that'd be very helpful throughout the next few races. Fuel efficiency isn't really, it's okay, but it's not as big as a engine upgrade on how fast we could go during a race or qualifying.
Welcome to Monaco.
As it wouldn't really affect qualifying when an engine upgrade will affect both the race and qualifying, so it would maybe help me a bit more throughout all the sessions.
Run down to turn 1. It's not an easy one to navigate as everyone is scrapping to get into their first.
We've seen in the past how tricky the first corner is. It's not an issue in practice in qualifying, but if you throw a lot of highly competitive drivers at it all at once, you've got an entirely different situation. The smarter drivers will be able to temper their approach and stay out of trouble, but it doesn't mean it's easy.
Okay, you should be able to get into the next qualifying session easily, so try to get a hot lap in early so we can save the tyres.
Okay, so going out on the first qualifying lap, getting the fuel down, just going to go out, hopefully easily do this. Okay, so coming through, we are only a second, about 2 seconds down on, don't know who it was there, I think it was Ricardo, and we go down to 13th. Hopefully, maybe, I think we're going to have to go out for, yeah, definitely going to have to go out for another run on the Ultra Soft now. So hopefully we'll be able to do quite well here. I don't know whether that's a glitch, but I think it said the Ultra Soft can go 43 laps. I don't know whether that's glitched or like that's for a 100% race, but that seems a lot. I know it's quite a short circuit, but still, that's quite a long way. And we got minor damage on the front wing in that last corner, but it doesn't really matter. I don't really care about that. I'm just gonna go through. No point messing around going into the pits just for that tiny bit. Like while I'm going down straight, the front wing doesn't help me at all. I don't think it does. It'll help me a tad bit with aerodynamics, but it won't help me. It will be the difference will be nothing really. I don't think it helps you a lot through corners, and I had no corners left in that lap. So I'm 10th above our teammate Julian Palmer, which is good. Get through to the next session, which is obviously we need to do that every time. Get through Q1 and Q2. We're the second fastest team. We should be able to get into Q3 every single time now. Okay, so just going through now into Q2 with the Ultra Soft again. Super Soft aren't fast enough really on this. It's quite a short circuit, so it's not really. You really need the grip that the Ultra Soft give you, as it's a lot of tight corners that if you don't keep your speed up through them, you basically waste your lap. We're 1/10 off Vettel, who's in first, so I think I'll be fine to getting into Q3. Ferraris are going down the order a bit, I believe, but are still fast enough. With Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen, they should easily be able to get into Q3. We actually get back to the garage and we're 6th. So I don't know what's happened there. 7th, Max Verstappen, Nico Rosberg, Vettel. We were only a 10th away from him at one point, and now he's about a second up on us. And we go 11th there. Oh wait, we go 7th. Our teammate goes 11th there. And we got a minute left, and hopefully we can just get through here. And we do just. Our teammate does really bad there. I don't know why our car doesn't seem to be that fast when Daniel Ricciardo. It's very scary that Daniel Ricciardo can be on the harder tyre and get a faster lap than us around this course. But I think it's just because if you get compromised anywhere on that last third sector, then you kind of have lost a lot of time compared to other cars. I think that's just it. I think we just get compromised through this section that we're going through now, and that's what costs us all the time. Anyway, behind Vettel for this last bit, and we go we go fastest. Obviously, we're in the slipstream. Yeah, it's perfect. We caught up to Vettel right at the end there, and he didn't really hold us up. He just helped us on that last straight. So thank you to Vettel for basically giving us provisional pole. So anyway, going in, and we are third straight away. Because obviously Lewis Hamilton, our rival, just beats us there. And I decided to go on a final lap just to try to beat Hamilton. Now I think at this point I'm thinking that I know how to do this track now. I know the fastest way to do this. I can beat my old time, and I'm about 6 tenths up here, 5 tenths up, and that's a lot faster than what I did before. And we go top again, even without Vettel's help that time. We go top. I think Vettel actually held us up actually a bit more than I expected there, because I had no one to slipstream at the end there, but I still did a much faster lap there. 10th up on Verstappen, and we come first.
But before we go, let's quickly remind
and we
ourselves
should
of
be
our
able
top
to
three.
Hamilton in third, giving a great advantage
Join us
over
tomorrow,
him.
where we'll be live with.
Who's actually, we're actually, he's actually top of the championship now. Well, he always has been, really. But yeah, should be able to maybe. Well, I say this, but should hopefully be able to catch him. We got a better car, but it's just Hamilton is a great driver in that Mercedes. So we come faster here. He goes faster in second sector, which is I believe it's the straight in the middle of the course. I think it's just the few corners, like 2-3 corners, and it's the straight. So not really too bothered about that. Obviously Mercedes is amazing from straight line, so it should be beating us there.
How are
Really.
you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
Okay, so they want me to come second or higher, beat Hamilton, beat Palmer. Should be able to beat Palmer. He came like 12th, so if I go down there, I think my title hopes are quite low. Really, if I get beaten by him, I think there's going to be no hope for the championship, really. So just looking here, I'm already at 932 resource points, so I'll get first driver bonuses as well, which means I should be able to afford that engine by the end of this race. And actually, the Hamilton rivalry, if we actually do okay here, beat him in the race, then actually we could draw, or I could even win this rivalry. But I'm very good at qualifying, but not very good at race pace and keeping them tyres in a good position.
Motor racing has come a long way since the first Grand Prix of the early 20th century. We have faster cars, bigger circuits, highly trained drivers who've dedicated their lives to racing. But still, we return here. Still, it remains the most desired victory in Formula One. Still, we race the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today, though, ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. Joining me to talk you through the action today is Anthony Davidson, and give us an idea of what kind of thing you're going to be looking out for today.
Well, the big question for me is whether or not we're going to see the cars able to follow each other closely enough to overtake, especially through the fast sections here. Of course, we've got DRS, and that will help on the straights, but it's still no good if you're coming off the previous corner too slowly or too far behind.
Okay, it's a short run to Saint-Devote, and you know what Monaco's like, so try to defend this lead.
So before the off, Let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. It's Renault in pole position then, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Nico Rosberg, and Raikkonen, Sainz, Kvyat, Vettel, and Felipe Massa, Alonso, Palmer, Valtteri Bottas, and Button, Grosjean, Perez, Esteban Gutierrez, and Nico Hülkenberg, Wehrlein, and Harry Anto, Felipe Nasser, and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So looking at the tyre strategy now, it's going to dunk the fuel load down, load about two laps there. Just going to go, the normal strategy seems fine, you know, ultra softs till about lap 19 and then super softs, but actually I realised that would be fine if we didn't, if you looked in the top right, we have rain coming at the end of this race, so really we've got to look at this and really think about it. I'm just trying to find out when the rain is actually coming, so we're actually probably going to have to go on maybe another set of ultra softs after the supers, and I don't know, it's going to be a bit weird. I don't know why. They need to sort out this tyre selection. I think you should just be able to get rid of everything. Get rid of everything, all the tyres, and then just once you select them, if you did the mandatory tyre, then it will tell you. But because literally it's just getting stupid, it takes so long to like get the right strategy that you actually want, which is really weird. So we're obviously in pole. We lead out the pack for the formation lap, which I obviously am going to skip. Because it's just going around track slower than normal, really. And just warming up tyres, warming up brakes, which I don't know actually if that actually works. I don't know actually if that works. That I mean, like, if you warm up the tyres perfectly, does it give you a better start? If you warm up your brakes properly, does that give you better braking at the start compared to the AI? I don't know, so I'm just going to go through it as fast as possible. As you see, I'm miles ahead of everyone else. I don't really care. 'Cause I don't think it does. I think when it comes up to the black screen, it just resets everyone's tyre to the same thing. Because I don't get how they would. Well, I guess they could, but I just don't think it happens. Because you don't feel any difference. If you overheat your tyres at the start of the race, you feel no difference at all. And literally, if you get them perfectly, they're going to cool down when you're sitting there anyway. If you're on pole or whatever. Except from in real life, you don't actually do like the burnouts that they do at the end to get in the proper position. You can't actually, which are like in F1 2017, is obviously you can move across your grid spot to cover off people. But anyway, going to 5 red lights for the Monaco Grand Prix, and we fucking get a late start there. That was one of the worst starts ever, but the Renault powered car now is very good, and we tapped the wall there. Don't get any damage. Yeah, that's really good. But one of the worst starts ever off the line. Just bogged down. Just didn't release the clutch at all. Just got just waiting there, looking at the red light, and just having no reaction time there. But anyway, still in first. Max Verstappen should have really capitalised on that quite a bit better than he did. But Red Bull is obviously not as good in a straight line as us or the Mercedes. But anyway. Coming on lap 10, Hamilton is second, Ricciardo's third. I think Verstappen already came in, and so Ricciardo obviously has to stay out. I'm just going to look at the race director here. There's not really been many. There's been a few collisions at the first corner like you expect. Very good pit stop. And now Verstappen actually beat us, so really the undercut worked amazing for him. I think we're going to be battling here, but Rosberg actually beats us as well. And there's a yellow flag at that gear 1 turn. We're actually F1. If you didn't know, F1 cars actually have to have a different steering wheel or something like that to allow them to steer that corner, because normally they'll never be able to make that corner. But that hash just went straight on. which I think there's something definitely wrong with the Haas right there. Safety car comes out, and it's a Haas again. I don't know what Haas. I think it's the same one, but I don't get what he is doing here. Look, I'm just gonna reverse it. Obviously, look at this. He has the same issue. His tires just lock up, and he can't do anything about it. There's something wrong with his braking, something wrong with his tires, something. But this, like, this is what I applaud F1 2016 for. This is real life issues that F1 drivers may face. If something goes wrong with your brakes or something with your steering, then this is going to happen. You're just going to lock up, and a lot easier than you would normally. And yeah, just having a major issue with his brakes for no reason. And here it is one of the worst places to have an issue with your brakes or something with your tires not allowing you to slow down. Yellow flagging, we're off racing again, right up to the back of Rosberg. So the undercut didn't really help them anymore because the safety car obviously came out. But anyway, looking back here, I'm looking for something wrong, and look at the Haas here. He clips the wall. I don't know what he is doing. He is miles back. Look, he's still his tires are still locking up, and he literally blue flag conditions. He thought like there's enough room. Toro Rosso just made an idiot mistake. Well, not an idiot mistake, just a mistake of allowing him too much room and just blocking every single car behind him. Yeah, it's just not worked out for him, really. But yeah, really, the Haas causing so many issues today in this race. I don't know what's wrong with it. But anyway, look at this. The Toro Rosso, I think that's the same one that was just having an issue there. That I showed you. It's just having more issues.
We'll be fitting the intermediate tyres.
We're going to be fitting the intermediate tyres next thing, because our next pit stop, because I realised that rain's coming. And again, I don't know what's happening here, but rain is literally falling, and he went on the super soft tyre. And here, everyone's having this issue. It's literally raining the smallest amount, and he had the same issue as the Haas. Literally did exactly the same thing. I don't know what the AI have issues with, but they have a big issue with that corner and their brakes. I think they may be overheating, something like that. But anyway, we come in for intermediates a bit early. I'm gonna say it. Our strategy call was rubbish here. We go back on the track. It's still a dry track, and so basically the tyres don't work, and so we're just slipping around. Roman Grosjean, I think, was the Haas car causing all the issues, has just been disqualified. At the same corner that he crashed at, about like right at the start of the race, about lap like 15 or like 12 or something. And he's literally crashed there again, and he just can't do anything. And Verline is out of the race for some reason. I think he was a man having issues. You know, just. And anyway, it's actually raining now, lap 27, and we're in 7th. Trying to catch up to Alonso here. We go very wide there, but anyway, lap 29. We get past him just in that first corner. Amazing work from us, and Daniel Ricciardo's in front. And he's going very slow. He's getting held up here by a Ferrari, it looks like. And we get past him on the last corner of the lap lap 37. Now we get past Kimi Raikkonen here on the 38th lap, and Lewis Hamilton wins the race, which is so terrible for us. It just doesn't help us at all that he's so good in race. He's so good with that Mercedes for no reason at all. The Mercedes is doing great strategy work, and our strategy is just the worst thing ever. You know, literally worse than any F1 team in real life. Like Ferrari, I think is meant to be a bad strategy, but we came in so early we were going for the undercut, and we went for the undercut 5 laps before an undercut would work, or literally 2 laps before. Like, I've realised now, you've got to go on intermediates when DRS gets disabled, and that's when it's wet enough. And when DRS gets enabled again, you go back on dries, and that's the thing I'm going to do from now on, because that is more safer strategy, and it kind of works better. You know, some people, I think there's one other car that went on intermediate at the same time as me, but they were like a Sauber, so like literally a car that may have issues with strategy as well.
And now let's take a look at the driver's stand.
We come 4th, which is good
For Lewis Hamilton.
from what we did, but we were first in qualifying. We should have done a lot better. Roman Grosjean having issues throughout.
He's clearly got a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, and he's matured a lot over the past few seasons, which served him well today.
And here's how things are shaping up.
We're still second in the championship, but we're getting caught up by every single other car, and we're 51 points below Hamilton, who's just getting away. That's 2 race wins if he gets no points, and that's on the 6th race in the season. So literally, it's getting a massive gap here, and we got I think we now got enough for that engine upgrade. We're gonna lose the rivalry, obviously. Like, I did get the. I think I got the. Oh, he got the fastest lap, but we got some fast sectors there. But beat Jolyon, lost to our rival, but then gained a point because of our status in the championship. So we're gonna upgrade the engine. We lost to the rivalry, obviously. And next race, I think, actually no, we're going to upgrade the drag, because that's 150, that's what we're looking at, because the drag is very important. Get past people a lot easier. Next race is Canada, and I'll see you there.